Abhishek Desai. Welcome to GST Solution. Friends, today we are going to discuss about Section 20 of CGST Act 2017, which talks about manner of distribution of credit by input service distributor. Now friends, what is the concept of input service distributor? Who is known as an input service distributor? So friends, input service distributor means a business or an office of the supplier of goods or services or both, which receive the tax invoice towards the receipt of input services and issued a prescribed document for the purpose of distribution of credit of central tax, state tax, integrated tax, union territory tax, or as the case may be, which the input service distributor had availed on supplies of tax particular goods or commodities. Now friends, to whom this credit needs to be distributed? So friends, the credit which has been availed by the input service distributor needs to be distributed only to those supplier of taxable goods and services which are having the same PAN as of the input service distributor. It may be possible that the different suppliers of goods and services have the different GST number, but the persons who have the same PAN, only to those persons this input tax credit needs to be distributed by the input service distributor. Say for example, my head office is located at Bangalore and from there I am not providing any output services. However friends, my HO is still receiving various services. Say for example, services of chartered accountant, cost accountant, services of security and many more. So friends, what needs to be done for this input tax credit which is available to the head office? Is this input tax credit is wasted? Will it be a cost to my company? It should not be available to me, and what needs to be done? So my friends, the answer to this question is no. The law said that this credit, even though your HO is not providing output taxable services, HO is having an option to distribute such input tax credit to another branches of the same company who is having the same PAN from where the output taxable services are provided. Hence, this input tax credit will not be a cost to the company, it will be distributed to the branches of the company. Say for example, a head office of Messrs ABC Limited is located at Bangalore and is having a different branches at Hyderabad, Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai and other states. Now the expenses, that is the centralized expense for all the locations for using the annual software maintenance, that is the software which has been used by the taxpayer, that is the input service distributor, that is head office at Bangalore, that is Karnataka, and the branch office situated at Mumbai, Delhi, Karnataka and Chennai. So this software is used by every person, every taxable person, and the invoices is being received by only the head office. Say for example, the invoices for using the annual software maintenance has been received by the HO for rupees 1 lakh. Then the entire credit will have to be first accounted by the head office. That is total 1 lakh rupees needs to be accounted by the head office at Karnataka, that is the Bangalore of ABC Limited, and then the ABC Limited will distribute the input tax credit to different locations. Say for example, Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Karnataka and so on. So this mechanism is known as an input service distributor. Now friend, there can be a question as to who can be the input service distributor. Whether I can be input service distributor, whether my branch can be input service distributor, or who else can be the input service distributor. So to answer this question friends, law says that any office, that is any office of supply of goods or services, can take a registration under input service distributor for all the receipt of invoices for which he is accounting and for distributing the credit to its further location. So any offices of goods or services, that is supplies of goods or services, can avail the registration of input service distributor. Now another question may arise is documents based on which the credit needs to be bifurcated, that is distributed, on which document this credit needs to be. So the document, that is the invoice, that is the expense which has been incurred by the head office towards various goods and services or various services which are used by the centralized location. So on those documents, that is the receipt of invoice from the supplier, that is the base for distributing the input tax credit. Now how to distribute such credit? So friends, law says that Rule 54 says that in order to distribute the credit, the input service distributor needs to issue a input service distributor invoice as per rule number 54. So what should be the content of such invoice? That is, what is the consent of input service distributor invoice? The content should be the name of the consignor, consignee, the tax amount which the head office needs to distribute to his branch office, and other as may be prescribed in the rule. Now, what type of tax can be distributed? Whether I can distribute central tax, state tax. So friends, law says you can distribute any amount of tax falling under CGST, SGST, IGST or Union Territory GST as the case to be, to the branch offices. That is, HO can distribute the credit to the branch office. Now, to whom it can be distributed? So friends, very clearly state, the suppliers who are having the same PAN account, to them only this credit needs to be distributed, and hence, as stated in the earlier law, that is, as was the provision in the excise and service tax rule, that the credit of input service distributor can be distributed by the input service distributor, that is the head office, to the outsourced manufacturers or the service providers. It is not present in the GST law. In GST, the provision very specifically says that you should not distribute such credit to the outsourced manufacturers or the service provided. It needs to be distributed to only those providers or suppliers of goods or services which are having same PAN as of the head office. So this is a quick background of the input service distributor. Now let us start what section 20 of CGST Act needs to be said. So subsection 1 of section 20 says that the input service distributor shall distribute the credit of central tax, state tax or union territory tax or integrated tax by issuing a prescribed document containing the input tax credit amount to be distributed to the branch office. इनपुट सर्विस डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर जो भी होगा, एचओ जो होगा जिसने इनपुट सर्विस डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर का क्रेडिट ले लिया होगा, उसको क्रेडिट बाइफरकेट करने के लिए प्रिस्क्राइब डॉक्यूमेंट यूज करना पड़ेगा. उसी के बेसिस पे आईटीसी जो है वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना पड़ेगा. दैट प्रिस्क्राइब डॉक्यूमेंट इज नोन एज इनपुट सर्विस डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर इनवॉइस, दैट इज ISD, which has been given in rule 54. Content also we had discussed a few minutes back. Now subsection 2 of section 20 says that input service distributor shall distribute the credit subject to certain conditions. Now what are those conditions? So there are 4 to 5 conditions given in clause number A to E, in which clause number A says that credit to be distributed to the recipient against the document containing such details as may be prescribed. That is rule number 54, that what we had discussed. Clause number B says the amount of credit, that is the amount of credit which the head office, that is the ISD office, needs to distribute it to the branch office, should not exceed the total amount of input tax credit which has been availed and which is available with the head office to be distributed. Say for example, if the total input service tax available with the holding company with the HO is 1 lakh rupees as in our example. So the out of the total credit, that is 1 lakh rupees, the head office can distribute only ITC to the extent of 1 lakh rupees to the different branches. The ITC to be distributed cannot exceed 1 lakh rupees. Subsection C says, that is clause number C says, amount of credit which is attributable to a direct recipient, that credit need to be distributed only to that particular recipient. In our example, we discussed that Mrs. ABC company had a total input tax credit of 1 lakh rupees. Now out of that 1 lakh rupees, if it can be found that total ITC of 20,000 rupees is directly attributable to branch located at Chennai, so that 20,000 rupees needs to be directly given to the branch office at Chennai, and that cannot be distributed to any other location. So if the link is established that these 20,000 rupees or whatever amount is pertaining to the branch office only, that services has been enjoyed by that particular branch only, then that credit needs to be distributed only to that branch and not to any other branches. Clause number D of section 20 says that if the amount of credit is to be distributed to the more than one recipient, then it needs to be distributed pro rata on the basis of the turnover of the recipient by the total turnover of all the recipients who are eligible for such input credit. In our example, we had distributed a credit of rupees 20,000 to Chennai location, and after giving a 20,000 to Chennai locations, the total credit which is remaining by the head office to be distributed to the other branches 80,000 rupees. Now that 80,000 rupees needs to be distributed to the other locations based on the pro rata of that turnover. So the turnover of that particular recipient divided by total turnover of the company and multiplied by the net input tax credit which is available with the head office, and the amount which comes that needs to be distributed to the further recipient or the branch office as the case may be. Now there are two hidden conditions given in clause number D, and it says that the unit to which such credit needs to be distributed should be operational during the year. इट मीन्स जिसको आप क्रेडिट देना चाह रहे हो, हेड ऑफिस जिसको क्रेडिट डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर रही है, वो उस पर्टिकुलर ईयर में ऑपरेशनल में होना चाहिए. दैट फैक्ट्री नीड्स टू बी इन अ रनिंग कंडीशन, बिकॉज इफ इट इज नॉट इन अ रनिंग कंडीशन देन देयर इज नो मीनिंग of giving input tax credit to such branch or such location or such factory as the case may be. Further, the credit pertaining to which the HO wants to distribute that pertains to certain relevant period. Now during that relevant period also that branch office needs to be operational. अगर वो operational नहीं होगा, once again it will be of no use to distribute the credit to such locations. Now clause E of section 20 needs to say that if the credit is distributed by the head office to entire location, that is to all the recipients, then again it needs to be distributed in the ratio of the turnover divided by the total turnover and multiplied by the net input tax credit which has been available by the head office. Again, all the companies must be operational during the current year as well as the relevant period to which this input tax credit pertains, and the HO wants to distribute it to the branch. Now friends, there are certain explanations also which has been given in section 20, and such explanation says that what is the meaning of the term relevant period. So the term relevant period shall be if the recipient of credit have the turnover in their state or union territory in the financial year preceding the year during which the credit is to be distributed, then said financial year. Or else, if some or all of the recipient of the credit do not have the turnover in the state or union territories in the financial year preceding the year in which this credit needs to be distributed, then in such cases the month, the last quarter for which the details of such turnover of all the recipients are available previous to the month during which such credit needs to be distributed. Now, what is meant by the term recipient of the credit? That is the supplier of goods or the supplier of the services which are having same PAN as with the head office. The term turnover is also been defined to mean the turnover of all such recipient of goods and services after deducting therefrom any tax which has been specified under entries number 84 and 92A of list 1 of 7 schedule to the constitution and entries number 51 and 54 of the state schedule, that is a tax on alcoholic liquor as well as a tax on a newspaper when they are sold interstate or within the state. Such taxes needs to be excluded from the turnover, and the balance which comes that needs to be taken for calculating the formula or calculating the amount of input tax credit which needs to be distributed by the head office. Friends, I hope you like this video very much, and thanks for watching my video. Thank you very much, friend.